welcome back to the channel, guys. This is a car you guys haven't seen yet. This is my 2005 Chevy Impala 9C1, one owner, 61,000 original miles. I picked this thing up a few months ago. I haven't really spoke about it much, but this is one of the projects that I pretty much completely went all out on in terms of mechanics. I bought this car for only $770 at an auction from a local police department. These things are so hard to find. Not a lot of police departments prefer these over the Crown Vics, which is kind of strange because for one, I really love these cars. I've always wanted these because playing GTA 4 growing up, the Merit, which is based on this generation Impala, really made me love these cars. Super nice, super fun to drive, really good pickup. But the story with this is I picked it up for $770 after the fees and stuff. I was out the door at $1,000 out the door, and then with the tow maybe like $1,400. But here's the catch: it had no brakes and it had no power steering. So to get all that stuff fixed, I was another $2,000 into the car. I didn't really want to be all this much into it. I kind of bought it as like a birthday present for myself. And after the brakes and power steering were fixed, I was like, okay, this might be a decent car. And then the water pump blew up. So then the car started overheating. But now with all that stuff fixed, the car runs like a dream, and I can't wait to show you guys the inside. So moving on into the 2005 Chevy Impala, the 9C1 police package, you do get this cloth seats for the front, and in the back for the perps, you get this nice vinyl just so they don't dirty it up. The hope is to restore this back to NYPD style. This was not an NYPD RMP, as you guys can see, but I want to restore it back to that. It never ever had a light bar on the roof. As you guys can see, the roof's intact. It just has some writing and some antennas and stuff. But going on into the car, really clean interior. Just want to show you guys. Starts right up. Look at that mileage, folks. Hold on. But no lights on the dash. 61,000 miles. Super low. My favorite quirk on this car though has got to be the surveillance mode. So with a click of this button, everything goes totally dark. The lights on the inside, the lights on the outside, everything's totally dark. Obviously it's not illegal to drive like this at night, but it's a police feature so that once you're tailing somebody, you can pretty much disappear completely with the surveillance mode. So all you got to do, press this button to get the lights back on, press this button, everything goes completely dark and quiet. But that's really cool. Something that the Crown Vic never had. We also have a spotlight. This wouldn't be accurate for NYPD, but this is a Unity spotlight that the department I bought it from had it equipped with. Obviously it doesn't work. Part of the decommissioning process. But so you guys might be wondering, why did this car have no brakes, no power steering as a police car? So one of the clues that led me to believe that this car has been sitting for a long time is these tires right here. They're quite literally brand new tires, but the date is 2013. So this car was garaged for a nice long time because these tires are brand new, no dry rot, 2013 tires. And the place where it was sitting, it must have been sitting there for at least 5 years because I checked the Carfax on this car and it had no record since 2017. So that's what sitting does to a car. All the brake lines were totally rusted out. Power steering was gone. I had to do a bunch of work. The brakes had no pressure, foot to the floor, no brakes at all. So driving this car was not easy. Getting it to the shop was not easy at all. It took some superhuman strength to turn the wheel, but now she purrs like a kitten. She's whisper quiet. Going under the hood of this beast, this is the world famous GM 3800. Really great motor. I don't know why they stopped making it. Now the Impala SS had this motor given. It was supercharged. This one is not. It's naturally aspirated. I did put in a brand new battery, changed the oil. The water pump completely blew up and the serpentine belt ripped off when the water pump blew off. So I lost power steering again after fixing the power steering. It was crazy. This car was a headache, but over $4,000 later, the car runs and drives like a top. Moving on to the back of the car, you have the infamous R34 Nissan Skyline GTR style lights. As you guys can see, we got some moisture in there. These are some cheap knockoff lights. So I really want to bring this thing back to life. Obviously, I'm going to need to do some lights, do some minor body work here and there. We do have a really nice Police Athletic League sticker still attached. But overall, really, really nice. I do need to do a few bits and pieces here and there to make this car perfect. We do still have some residue from the police department. But other than that, the paint is in remarkably nice shape for a 20-year-old car almost. Really, really nice. The paint's in amazing shape. Just got to get all this residue off. Tires are brand new, and I'm pretty happy with this car. I'm into it. Almost $5,000, so a little bit over my head. But what can you do? Where else am I going to find a 2005 Chevy Impala 9C1 with only 61,000 miles? I've always wanted one of these as a kid, so I'm really stoked that I finally have this one. Super clean, low mileage, one owner, everything works. It's amazing. Starting up the Impala, she starts right up. No lights on the dash, like I mentioned. Super, super comfortable seats. These seats, unfortunately, they look like they've been sat in by some heavy set guys, as you guys can see right over here. They're really, really well worn for 61,000 miles, but the miles are definitely original because every other part of the car besides the seats definitely do reflect 61,000 original miles. So just riding in this car, super duper comfortable. If you've driven a Crown Vic of this vintage, you know, similar ride. It's a little bit stiffer, it's not as soft, but you definitely get the improved performance. It doesn't handle as much of a boat like a Crown Vic, and the reason I'm comparing it to the Crown Vic is because that was this car's competitor when this was being sold to fleet markets, you know, police cars, police car usage as well. So most departments didn't buy this. Most departments bought the Crown Vic. NYPD is one of the departments that had both this and the Crown Vic pretty much 50-50 in its day. But this car, it has really, really good pickup from 3800. It definitely feels much faster than the Crown Vic, obviously due to the fact that it's pulling a way lighter car. So I'm gonna bust this UE real quick and do a pull. So she really does handle really nice. Much better than a Crown Vic. Gets up to speed way quicker as well. As you guys can see, the transmission's really, really nice in this car. Everything's original. I'm just really stoked to have it. Another thing I did need to do was recharge the AC, but all I did was buy a $40 can of refrigerant from Advanced Auto Parts, 5-minute recharge, and I have ice cold AC. It lasts about 2 years, depending on how you use it. We are missing a dome light, so you know this car is not perfect. We are missing the dome light, and the radio doesn't work. It's probably some electrical stuff. This right here, I'm planning on taking this out because this car has no kind of cup holders. You have an ashtray over here, but no cup holders of any kind anywhere. So I'm really thinking of putting a center console from like a civilian one or a one off of Amazon or whatever in here, just to make this car livable and, you know, just to be able to drive around with it. But in the nighttime, surveillance mode is definitely a really, really cool feature. It would be cool to demo that out, kind of. But yeah, driving this car, it's super duper comfortable. It's great. You get better gas mileage as well than the Crown Vic. But most people did not opt for the Crown Vic. The Crown Vic, you do get the 4.6 V8 naturally aspirated, so way bigger engine, and you get a little bit more versatility just because, you know, it's based on a truck. You can take it anywhere and it'll be fine. Whereas this is the front wheel drive. This is when GM first started going front wheel drive. Totally different platform, the W body platform as opposed to the B body platform that GM replaced. When cruising, this car is really, really comfortable to cruise at as well. It gets really, really good gas mileage. I wouldn't mind dailying this thing actually. This is really, really nice. And the best part is you can put it on classical car insurance, so you do save a lot of money putting it on classical insurance. This is just overall super duper comfortable daily driver. I'll try to turn it to here. As far as like a city police department, I would definitely think that this might, you know, be strong competitor to the Crown Vic. It's really hard to say that any police car beats the Crown Vic, but this is pretty strong in terms of competition. You got a lot of versatility, you got a lot of features. The surveillance mode is really great. Obviously, it doesn't really work on this car to be surveilling somebody in a marked police car, as they did with you know, this car being a marked setup. But in terms of like an unmarked street appearance package, Impala, the surveillance mode is definitely a killer feature. I think all police cars should have that. And if you guys have never driven one of these, I would say, you know, expect a lot of this same things from the Crown Vic. Really smooth steering and comfortable, really comfortable seats. But you do get improved gas mileage, and you definitely get a stiffer ride and a little bit better handling. The pulls are crazier, way crazier. So this thing definitely pulls. And that concludes our video of the 2005 Chevy Impala 9C1 police package. But wait, there's more. This video is not done yet. So I know a lot of you guys are in the comments always busting my balls about, oh, no updates on this car, no updates on that car, this guy never finishes a project. So I wanted to give you guys an update on this car, being that it's been 2 years since I made this video, and the car is no longer alive. It's no longer with me, unfortunately, and this car was, you know, cursed from the get-go. So the day I pick it up, the car barely started. In the photos, it looked like it was in great shape, so I assumed that the photos reflected the condition of the vehicle, and that they did cosmetically, but definitely not mechanically. The car had no power steering, the battery barely wanted to start the car, the brakes had absolutely no pressure, and the vehicle was just overall a complete and total nightmare. Had to be towed a lot of miles to my mechanic, and about $4,000 later, car ran and drove, and I thought, okay, let me clean this bad boy up and she's gonna be looking perfect. My restoration project is halfway done mechanically, and then what do you know, I'm driving the vehicle with my friend, and he's actually behind the wheel, and he loses power steering randomly, and we have no idea what happened. But what actually happened was the water pump blew, and what that in turn did was cause the serpentine belt to fly off of the car, and the car started to overheat. We pulled over as soon as we could safely, so that was another $3,000. The next thing that happened was the car literally got crushed by a drunk driver in the middle of the night. I didn't even know what happened. I woke up, my brother told me, hey, your car's been destroyed. And I said, what? You got to really take a second look at this video to see what really happened to the vehicle. It was completely unbelievable, just astonishing how this could even happen. Needless to say, after that whole thing, just trying to get the security footage cost me $90 because the building that had it didn't want to give it to me unless I had a warrant, which obviously I didn't. And I was just turned off from the whole thing. But the good part was that the car still ran and drove. The damage was superficial. It was to the quarter panel, so very hard place to fix. And then the second incident, I got T-boned into by an elderly lady. She was definitely traveling way too fast, and that was just the icing on the cake. The car was completely totaled. It was completely gone. There was no saving it. I was into the car over $7,000, and I ended up junking it for $500. So there you go. Unfortunate story of my cursed Merit Impala. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next Scoop Tea.